Welcome to Big Blend Radio's third Tuesday Go to Natchitoches show, where we explore what you can experience in the state of Louisiana's oldest city. Welcome, everyone. Today's episode of Big Blend Radio's Go to Natchitoches podcast is all about summer. We're in that dog days summer. It is warm. It's hot, let's be honest, but there's things to do. And there's Cane River Lake, there's water sports, there's all kinds of things you can do in Natchitoches, the oldest city in Louisiana. So we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about fall, early fall. So you can start scheduling now because fall gets busy, y'all. It does. And of course, we have Nicole Connell on the show from the Natchitoches Tourism or Natchitoches Convention and Visitor Bureau back on the show. And you can go to natchitoches.com for all these events we're talking about. And that is natchitoches.com. And it's linked in the episode notes. So welcome back, Nicole. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. A little warm down here, but we're doing good.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are all there. I mean, we've had some crazy weather with hurricanes and tornadoes flying across the country. So I'm glad everything, it may be warm, but I was looking that there's still a lot to do in Natchitoches. And I think, I want people to know, with you guys being the oldest city in Louisiana, you definitely have such a diverse blend of cultures that people can experience at these different events and the history, right? When we look at the history of your area, because you were founded in 1714 before America became the United States,
We've been here for a little while. Yep.
Yeah. So definitely history. This month, July, was Parks and Rec Month. It's also Picnic Month, National Picnic Month. And they also say July is Family Reunion Month, and so is August. And August, as we ease into that, is American Adventures Month. And I think with all the history in the parks, Kisatchie National Forest, it's a good time to touch on those experiences people can have, because you've got a lot of parks, including Cane River Creole National Historical Park. That's a big one.
We're looking forward to that. We're excited to have a new national park in town. The Cane River Creole National Historical Park will be opening their own visitor center and have their headquarters in an old train depot here. So they have been working diligently. The physical aspects of the headquarters is done. They're working on the interpretive pieces that go on the inside, and we cannot wait to show off that phenomenal building.
Do you know when they're going to actually open? Is it fall?
The key words that we have been given are the end of the year, before the end of the year. So
okay, cool. Yeah. Just stay in touch. And Cane River Creole National Historical Park is divided between, you've got two plantations, Magnolia Plantation and Oakland Plantation. And I was looking that in fall, September 21st, like it will be fall, y'all. They have a field day. And I was looking it up, and it sounds like a blast. It's kind of like field sports. So like cornhole. I know you all like cornhole. It's fun to play. I get a little competitive.
Yes.
I do. It is. Sack races. Do you remember doing those as kids, like sack races?
I do. I grew up here, went to junior high here, and so I remember the days of sack races at NSU Middle Lab School.
See, but you like to do all these marathons, maybe not in the summer, right? So are you going to go marathon in the sack? You're going to get jumping in
I'm going to give it a try.
I knew it. That's awesome. So a lot happening. And then we should also say that Melrose Plantation is another awesome destination and historic site to experience. It's that to go and do that and find out more about Clementine Hunter. And it was like an artist retreat, and like writers were there, artists were there, right? So if you're into the arts, I'd say that would be a good place to go. And you can stay inside in there too, in the plantation house.
Yes,
and stay cool.
Beautiful. Miss Cammie Henry had just the perfect spot for people to hone in on their art skills. And it's absolutely beautiful and so serene out there.
Oh, it is gorgeous. Those big oak trees, man, that's the thing too. When you get those summer showers, then the resurrection ferns on the oak trees.
Aren't they pretty?
Pop up. They're gorgeous. So I hear the farmers market is rocking and rolling.
It is. It seems to be getting bigger every weekend. They had a huge crowd Saturday. If you can imagine, you've been on the riverbank before, so if you can imagine the
Yeah.
riverbank as the backdrop for a farmer's market, I mean, what better place to be on a Saturday morning than strolling along the Cane River?
Yeah, nice, huh? And so it's every Saturday?
It is every
Mm.
Saturday.
Oh, wait, speaking of the ongoing events, so do they still do the downtown walking tours, the Cane River National Heritage Area? Are they still doing those guided walking tours of the historic Natchitoches district?
They
Or I should
do
say,
every Wednesday through Saturday. They don't do them Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but Wednesday through Saturday. They start right here at our office, which is 780 Front Street. You can stop in here, get your day going with a tour of the historic district, and we like to tell people that that's a good starting point for your Natchitoches visit. It gives you an overview of the historic district, and you may learn or hear about something that you want to investigate a little bit further on your own. So it's a good starting point. It gives you a great overview of Natchitoches, how Cane River came to be, a lot of the historical points that we have around town, and you may learn something and you want to revisit a particular area. So it's a great spot to get your visit kicked off from.
I love it. I love it. And you do the walking tour, and then you've got the state park, the old fort right down the street, which is
Right.
really ties into the history too.
Yes, yes. Everything you ever wanted to know about how Natchitoches came to be, the soldiers and the Indians being friends, and how they settled in this area. Everything you get right there at the fort.
Mm. And you're also part of the El Camino Real de los Tejas National Historic Trail, which is a trail that goes from Mexico up through San Antonio, Texas, and pretty much it stops in Natchitoches, right? You're like the
Yes,
final
we are the
destination.
we are the end of the line.
Right, right. It's cool. It's super cool that history. Nancy and I have actually done parts of it now, like in Texas, and especially, going from Natchitoches, Louisiana to Nacogdoches, Texas, which was it was the oldest city. So you could go do two oldest cities, the oldest city in Texas, the oldest city in Louisiana, and the history is really quite profound. And the two cities are not these massive skyscraper cities whatsoever. But
Right.
you guys share some history. So do a lot of guests go back and forth between the two cities?
Yeah, especially so one of our big events for the El Camino is our continuous, I think it's up to 150 miles now, sail
Mhm.
on the trail, which is the first weekend of every May. So that's a fun way to do the trail too. It's continuous garage sales, and some cities have really built up. Natchitoches is working on building up the area that's in the historic district. Manny, which is in neighboring Sabine Parish, does a really good job as far as food trucks, live music, and so it's just a fun time. Plus, you get to do a lot of shopping.
Oh, yeah. See, I think this is great for people to start planning. So that's every spring and May, right? May is the time to go for that.
Right. First
Um,
weekend in May.
Yeah, and speaking of Parks and Rec, like it was just Forest Week, National Forest Week, and I always want to tell people about Kisatchie National Forest. It's the only national forest in the state of Louisiana, but Carolyn Dorman spearheaded the protection of the forest, and you can go to the forest, think of her and her history, but also go to Briarwood.
Yes,
I love Briarwood.
yes.
It's a good time to go. It
It
is. You
is. It's
go
beautiful out there.
all the wildflowers. You've got that pond, the grandpappy tree. But that's where Carolyn Dorman is from. She was a writer. She was an educator. She was an artist. It's a special property, and they seem to be doing a ton. I'm always seeing them post stuff on Facebook. It's like it's busy over there.
Yes, they
you know.
have a I don't want to say she's not new, but they have a new curator, Miss Bailey Brose, and she does a lot of events out there, a lot of educational programs. She hosts various organizations, whether it be garden clubs, 4-H, FFA, and really teaches them about the area that Carolyn Dorman started out there, and the Louisiana irises out there that are just absolutely beautiful when they're in bloom. And
Mm.
so it's a great hands-on learning experience out there as well.
it's good if you got kids too, to
Yes,
go to the events. And the other thing, we were talking about Parks and Rec Month. You've got a lot of city parks, community parks, and what about getting in the water with it? With it being warm, are people boating and the Cane River Queen, is that rolling out on the river for people to
it
go?
is. It is.
Ah,
Captain
nice.
Paul he's got some specials going on right now as well. He's doing private parties in addition to his tours. He just had his first Boots and Booze. It was BYOB, of course, but he takes you out, he lets you crank the music up and just have a good time for your special guest.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, um, when I look at, moving forward in parties, right? So
Yeah.
special parties. So this month being family reunion month, and so apparently next month too. I don't know. Everybody's arguing over it. So I just say summer is a good time to get with your family, right?
Yes.
But and reconnect, and I think it's so important that you do it. And if you go to a destination, it's really cool. So you can experience new things together. So what would you say Natchitoches is a good place for family reunions? I'm thinking like get the kids, get the families. I mean, everyone can enjoy going on the Cane River Queen. I mean, it's almost like a paddle boat, right?
Right.
And so all ages can experience that. But I would say like even for families to go do your film trail, I would, just when you think about multi-generational adventures, you need
Yes.
something that everyone in, maybe if they want to split up and come back together, but adventures that are, something that all ages and abilities can do.
Yep, we see a lot of different family groups come in. They love the Sports Hall of Fame, not only because of all the sports there, but the history there. And it's the kids enjoy looking at all the memorabilia. Um, and so that's a really cool spot to have, all different age groups. And then, of course, we've always done our Steel Magnolias self-guided walking tour. And, that's a common denominator with a lot of, if you get the girls on a girls trip of all ages, who doesn't love Steel Magnolias? I think I've
Uh,
talked to one person who said she didn't like the movie. And then when I asked her why, because she cried at the end. Well,
oh, well,
that's
that
part
that
of, that's part of it. But yeah, but we love to see families come in, and everybody from grandmas to granddaughters can bond over Steel Magnolias and the scenes in it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's funny that she didn't like it because I was crying because I'm thinking Nicole's going to be like, I might push you over into the Cane River Lake. There's some
Yeah.
gators out there for you, you know? Um, so where would you say a good spot with it being Parks and Rec month and picnic month? And, I love, there's nothing like a good picnic. And obviously you want shade, right, at this time of
Right.
year. And you may want to go at the end of the day. Might even want an evening picnic. Who
Yeah.
knows? Where would you say is a good spot in Natchitoches for a picnic?
Well, I tell you, the first spot I would start with would be the Natchitoches Picnic Company. We have a local
What?
catering company who has a storefront downtown,
Oh,
who does picnic boxes.
oh,
So I would let them do all the kitchen work, get my boxes from the Natchitoches Picnic Company, and then probably head down to the riverbank because as you know how beautiful it is, and you can set up the scene there as someone who hasn't seen it their entire life, how pretty it is down there. And there's shady spots down there, there's waterfront spots down there, so get right there on
yeah.
the riverbank.
Are you just trying to get me to say Beau Jardin?
Right,
I
right.
did. Did I do it? Did I do it
You
right?
did, you did. That's it.
Oh, I had to think too. I was like, don't say Beau Jardin, but Beau
Right.
Jardin is beautiful. I mean,
It
I know
is.
that a lot of weddings happen there, but you've got the waterfalls and then they do some restoration. It's got the oak trees right on the riverbank, and so you see herons and ducks and all kinds of things down there.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
beautiful place for a picnic down
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Mm.
So my little quick story, when my oldest son was young and we were trying to get rid of the pacifier, I took him down on the riverbank and there were ducklings, baby ducks down there, and the baby duck needed a pacifier. So he threw his pacifier to the baby ducks in the water and never asked for it again. So there's always educational opportunities on the riverbank as well. So there's a duckling with a pacifier from many, many
That's it.
years ago somewhere there.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So it's like quack, quack. That's where you got rubber duckies
Yeah, yeah.
with a pacifier. Really, you need a rubber ducky that has a pacifier. I think that's
Right, right.
important. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The other thing, definitely the farmers market, but I want to talk the cemetery walking tours. Always bring this up on every
Yes,
episode because it's so fascinating,
it is.
and it's
Yep.
a beautiful garden park setting kind of. I look at the cemetery. It's very historic, the oldest in the Louisiana Purchase. And Scotty takes you out on walks. How it's every month, right? The first
First
Friday?
Friday of every month, starting at 11:30.
Mm.
Yep.
And it's free. There's a lot of free things you can do. That's the
Yep.
other thing for families.
Right.
Didn't you just say it was, how many people did you have this past weekend for a family
For a
reunion?
family reunion, we had a group for a family reunion that was over 500 family members that came from all across the United States.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a big family.
that is a big family.
Did, so were they from Natchitoches? Like, is there,
Originally, they were from the Clucheville area, around St. Augustine, that area, the south end of the river, and they have over the years have spread their wings. The families have, and so they came from all over the United States to
wow.
gather back up in Natchitoches where their beginnings got
Yeah.
started down around St. Augustine. Yep.
500 people that are all related. That's pretty
Yeah.
epic. Like, I'm
Right.
thinking hotels and some of the bed and breakfast, but you've got vacation rentals, so they must have booked up the town.
They did. They did.
Wow. And the other part, speaking of families and family reunions, one of the coolest things is that you have multiple places for folks to go and research their family history. You have
Yes.
genealogy libraries, you've got the Folk Life Center, right, at the university where people can go. Um, that's a huge part, right? And even the historic sites and cemeteries too. The cemeteries are cool. You got more than one. You got the one out in St. Augustine area. I mean, it's just there's a lot of ways to, follow your family history. Do you ever meet people come into the visitor center that are there just to trace their family history
Oh,
and
yes, we
research
have
their
that.
roots?
Yeah, we have that quite a bit. We usually refer them to the library on campus, Watson Library, Northwestern campus, or the Creole Center.
Mm,
We've referred some to the genealogy center that's housed in the old courthouse. So they have lots of avenues that they can trace their families back. Some will even go to the churches that they identify as their families being members of, to gather information. So lots of trails that you can go down to find relatives here.
I love it. I love it. Um, all right. So the other thing that you can do is there's a monthly Zydeco breakfast at Cane River Commissary. And that's,
Yes.
if you're out in Cane, you're going to Melrose Plantation or Oakland Plantation or Magnolia Plantation, you might want to start here. But
Yeah.
so how often are these Zydeco breakfasts?
So they're once a month. They're the second Saturday of every
Second.
month.
Okay.
The crew out at Cane River Commissary does a great job. So much so that people it doesn't start until 9, but you might want to get there around 7 to start saving your spot in line. So it has grown tremendously in the last few years since they've started doing it. The live music is so entertaining. A couple different groups in and out of there that you'll see. So it's just a great time and everybody looks forward to it. And of course, anybody that comes to town, we highly recommend going there.
It's fun and the food is fabulous. It's a nice shaded setting. It's fantastic. And speaking of Zydeco, your next big festival for August is over my birthday weekend. So this is
Oh, good.
important. So everyone needs to
Yeah.
go and celebrate my birthday. And it's
Yeah.
a big birthday too. So August 30th through 31st is the Cane River Zydeco Festival. Oh my gosh. And we should just say this too. The Folk Festival is happening this weekend,
Yes.
July 20th, the Natchitoches NSU 44th Annual Folk Festival, and also the Louisiana State Fiddle Championship. I'm going to link to last month's episode with Dr. Shane Rasmussen, telling everything about the festival. It is one of those must do things if you ever can. If you can't make it this year, plan for next year. It's always in July. Isn't it always a third weekend, I think, in
Yes.
July?
Hmm.
It is a must. You must. You have to.
Yes.
I demand everyone goes. You gotta go.
Yes.
It's so cool. But then the Cane River Zydeco Festival. So if you missed this month's, folk festival, this would be your next opportunity, right? Is the Cane River Zydeco Festival?
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
this year is the 25th annual Zydeco Festival. It is put on and it is a fundraiser for the Magnolia State Peace Officers Association. So they have done this for many, many years. It grows every year. They have a great lineup this year. The gates open Friday, August the 30th at 6, and there's music until 9 that night. And then Saturday, there's a poker run, and some different activities going on until 4 o'clock, and then the live music starts at 4 o'clock and
Mm,
goes until almost 11. So
mm.
it's going to be a big time. It's going to be down on the riverbank. Lots of live music. So, we love live music here. So we've got plenty of it that weekend too.
Now I know that next month on the show we'll talk about what's going on in fall, but I want to touch on it so people can start planning. It's never too early to talk about what's going on,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned, because people have to take time off work and all kinds of things to do
Yes.
it, right?
Yes.
So I am very excited about this festival, and I really wish we were going. September 7th, so we'll just give a quick overview for everyone, is the first annual Natchitoches, Louisiana Bigfoot Festival. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So, is everyone dressing up as Bigfoot? What is going on?
I guess you'll
This
just
is so
have to
cool.
come check it out to see.
Oh my gosh. Who doesn't want to do that? And then you've got September 13th through 14th is the Natchitoches Meat Pie Festival. Now, if you can't make the festival, you can get a meat pie anytime in Natchitoches. Isn't that right? And
Yes.
it's a must. It's another
It
must do.
is. It is. It's the staple food item here that everyone needs to try out for sure.
I actually was talking about it on a different podcast I was recording yesterday about you have the food trail. I was like, there's a gas station food trail, and the guest is a five-star chef, Ivan Flowers. And he's like, really? I said, yes. The best food comes out of gas stations. You wouldn't believe it, but it's
Absolutely.
true. And I
Right.
said, whatever you want fried, they do it and
Yeah.
more. Like
Yeah.
there's things you didn't know could be so delicious when they're fried, but they are, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
that's the thing.
I would put some of our gas station food up against 5 star any day for sure.
Man, I love it. I love it. So meat pies is part of the history of the area and has kind of like evolved through time because it was like all the different cultures just kept changing it up and changing it up over the
Yeah.
years.
Yep.
So,
You can find a variation of meat pie just about any gas station and every restaurant here in Natchitoches.
mm.
They're all different and they're all great.
So September 13th through 14th. So it used to be one day, now it's 2 days.
Yeah.
The Meat
Well,
Pie
we like a
Festival.
party around here.
Oh, yeah, we know. We know. September 20th through 21st is the Natchitoches Parish Rodeo. I don't remember there being one. So I don't, is this something new or is just now hitting my own radar?
No, we've had a rodeo here. I won't give away my age, but we've had a rodeo here since I was very young. So it's around
Hmm.
the same time, late September every year. Comes to the fairgrounds. They have a livestock show for the kiddos. Lots of school trips that you'll see. Of course, the carnival rides, and then the rodeo on the weekend.
Okay, yeah. So you got the Natchitoches Parish Rodeo, the Natchitoches Parish Fair. Then
Hmm.
September 21, I'm bringing this up just for Nicole, is the NSU football game. Um, is that's a big deal?
It is. We are so excited. We have a new coach in town this year. Coach McCorkle has regrouped NSU football. Everybody in town is excited to see them get back on the field. So we're really looking forward to a great season for them as well.
And then you've got, I mentioned Field Day at Oakland Plantation is on September 21st. And then a kids fishing clinic. And there's fishing that happens. There's all kinds of fishing events throughout the year. And that's September 28th. So that's just a little, taste of what's to come for fall. And
Right.
fall's a fabulous time in Natchitoches. And everyone, Natchitoches.com is the website to go to. And of course, we're here every third Tuesday chatting with Nicole and sometimes special guests. So listen, enjoy the dog days of summer and get
Yeah.
in that lake, but don't get your toes, chomped on by a gator.
Well, we swim with them. We don't bother them. They don't bother us. So we like it that way.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And it's so
Yeah.
cool. We love Louisiana and we love Natchitoches. So everyone, also just saying, it's July. So if you want to get Christmas in July, get in the spirit for the holiday season, it's a good time to go shopping downtown. There's a lot of great boutiques, a lot of shops, and the art. I love the art co-op that you have, that gallery with all the local
Yes.
artists in there. That
Yes.
is a cool place to go shopping. And the Cafe Frederick Mercantile, we can't leave them out.
Of
That's
course.
special. Isn't it the
Yeah.
oldest general store in the state?
Yes, it is. It's the oldest general store in the Louisiana Purchase. They were
Oh,
just featured last week in an Associated Press article, so that was really cool, to read about little old Natchitoches on the through the
yeah.
Associated Press. So
Well,
that
you
was
guys are
fun.
always getting awards and the best small town in this magazine and that newspaper. It's like there's always the best of, and Natchitoches is like, yes, we are. Thank you
We
very
are.
much.
We are. We are a great place to visit. We have a lot of people that come in. Not so we don't we try to limit our activities during the summer just because it gets so hot here, but we were already started working. This year will be our 98th annual Christmas festival. Plans have already begun for that. We're also looking for, just two short years away, we'll have our 100th Christmas festival. So super exciting. Everything kicks off the holiday season the weekend before Thanksgiving. So if anybody's looking to start planning a holiday trip,
Yeah.
that's we've got 6 weeks of it. So
Yeah.
800,000 lights will light up downtown. So there's always something to see and do in Natchitoches. But if you've never seen the lights or the fireworks, it's a beautiful sight.
Oh, it's epic. Nancy and I finally got to do that last year, and we got to meet Nicole in person.
Yeah.
And some of the, yeah, it's a bunch of new people, right? It was so much fun. And to see the lights, I mean, it is truly epic. The lights and then the fireworks and then the drone. Oh my gosh. The
Yep. And the
drone.
drones are coming back this year.
Oh,
Yep.
like I said then, it was like an emotional experience. It
Yeah.
really, I can't explain it. You have to see it. You just
Yep.
have to go.
That's another title we get to add to our growing list is we were the first place in Louisiana to have a drone show. So you got to see the first one.
Oh, see? And that's what you feel special when you get to Natchitoches, and
Yeah.
the hospitality is fantastic. That's the thing too. Everyone's friendly. It's like everybody just has a good time living in Natchitoches, and so when guests come into town, they're like, "Hey, y'all, come on in the shop. I'll show you around." Everyone's so friendly. It really
Yeah.
is a friendly community. So great place to visit. Thank you so much, Nicole. As I was
Yeah.
saying earlier, everyone enjoy the rest of the dog days of summer. So woof. Thank you for joining us on our Big Blend Radio Go to Natchitoches show. Keep up with us at bigblendradio.com and plan your adventure in Natchitoches. Go to Natchitoches.com. That is Natchitoches.com. Natchitoches.com.